Hello, students, and welcome to Hogwarts Podcast, an all things Harry Potter podcast. I'm Mike Messina, representing Gryffindor.
Diego Crespo representing Hufflepuff, and that was kind of funny that the delay right there. I thought the hangout broke, but we're good. No bumps on this road so far.
And I'm Stacey Howard, representing Ravenclaw.
I'm Skylar Martin, representing Slytherin.
All right, so this is our second episode of Hogwarts Podcast. I thought the first episode went very well. That was a lot of fun. I think you guys had a lot of fun too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of positive feedback from some listeners, so that was great. I'm glad people enjoyed listening to it, and I hope they continue to enjoy listening to it, and we get more and more listeners. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Good things.
Thanks, Mike.
I wasn't talking about you guys. I was talking about the listeners.
Okay.
Never
I'm just
mind.
okay. So.
You guys are good too. I like you guys. But I was just,
Yeah, no, we know what you meant.
Anyway, we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about this week. Last week, it was our first episode, so I just wanted to kind of tell all the listeners, just why we love Harry Potter and why we want to talk about it in the first place and what our favorite movies and books were and what we love about them. And we'll continue to do that throughout all of the episodes, I'm sure, but I just wanted to focus on that at first. So we have some news regarding an upcoming Harry Potter trilogy. It takes place 70 years before the events of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you're from and what you want to call it. And that is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And it follows Newt Scamander, who is being played by Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne. And it also stars Catherine Waterston, who is playing Porpentina, a.k.a. Tina, because she doesn't want to go by Porpentina all day. J.K. Rowling took to Twitter to explain that to people who were like, why isn't she going by Porpentina? Oh my god, why isn't... Well, and she was like, well, would you want to go by Porpentina all the time? She just wants to go by Tina, You get it, right? And they're like, oh yeah, J.K., you make so much sense, because she does. And so Newt goes to New York City. He is a mazoologist. He's a guy who studies magical creatures. And when he gets to New York City, he runs into Tina. She has a younger sister who goes by the name of Queenie, and she has not been cast yet. But people who have tested for the role are Saoirse Ronan, Dakota Fanning, Lily Simmons, and Alison Sudol. And another character that they have that they're still looking for is the rival to Newt, and his name is Jacob. And Steve Zissou, Zach Perlman, and Dan Fogler have tested for that role. So there's no word yet or not on if any of them are getting the roles of Queenie and Jacob, but I think we'll find out soon. It seems like the casting's moving along pretty quick, and David Yates is returning to the Harry Potter world to direct the movie, and J.K. Rowling wrote the script. And it is hitting theaters November 18th, 2016.
That soon?
Yeah.
I was unaware of that. I thought it was like 2018 for some reason.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that seems really soon. That's like a year and a half from now, and they've just now cast the film. They haven't. I guess they would start shooting in the next few months, hopefully, and then, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Can I ask, how visual is it? Because Harry Potter obviously took a long time to shoot and edit because it has lots of incredible set designs and, stages and everything like that. So, obviously it's like a super visual film. Is this going to be the same kind of thing? How involved is it with this effects and everything?
I mean, that really hasn't been said, but I would imagine so. Warner Brothers is definitely taking this serious. This is Harry Potter. This is the world. This is the Wizarding world of Harry Potter. So, this isn't just the spin-off, these spin-offs that we're not gonna care about. This is like this on the same level. Like they're taking this just as serious as the other Harry Potter movies. Like David Yates is returning to direct, and they got these amazing actors. And J.K. Rowling wrote the script and is also producing, like she always does. So yeah, this is serious, but it's going to be different because they're going to be doing a lot of traveling. Like I said, he's a zoologist who travels around the world looking for magical creatures.
Has J.K. Rowling ever written a script before? Anybody know?
No.
I don't think so.
I can't remember if she did The Casual Vacancy. Can't remember if she wrote that, the script for that.
Because that makes me nervous. I get so nervous when I hear like a novel writer writing a script. And I know that you would think that, oh, you can write one thing really well, you can write the other, but that is not true.
No.
They're so different. And look at poor dear Stephen King, who I am so obsessed with. Like he's my favorite writer, but he cannot write a screenplay to save his life. Like a script from him is so weird and forced that it makes me really nervous that they don't have a film writer writing the script.
Yeah, because his scripts are almost like unfilmable because he can write in a novel and help people visualize it with his words. But when you're trying to come up with a script, that's what you're literally doing versus trying so hard to come up with it. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work. And I know is it Gillian Flynn just did it with Gone Girl, and that's Gillian.
Yeah.
And that's great. But then look at. I mean, and another, of course, one that's a terrible example is like, what's her face, E.L. James from 50 Shades of Grey. Obviously, she can't write a script, and she can't write a book either. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how the script comes out. But
I'm feeling great about it because the reason like. Eddie Redmayne was holding off on joining, is because he was waiting to read the script first. And he is at a place where he can be very picky, and he only wants to join like really good stuff because like he can now. And that gives me, and he decided to join once he read the script from J.K. Rowling, so that gives me a lot of faith. And plus J.K. Rowling, like I trust her more than most people in the world.
The real question is whether or not it'll be as good as Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, okay. On that note, let's move on to the news that they are releasing Harry Potter Funko Pop vinyls finally.
Yay!
And that is going to be on July 31st, Harry's birthday, and you can pre-order them now. And the ones that will be available to start off with are Harry, Ron, Hermione, of course, Dumbledore, Hagrid, Snape, and Voldemort.
Can I just say the one for Voldemort is so cute because he has no nose and he has this little downturned mouth and he looks like Grumpy Cat and his arms are just out like, what? And he's just super adorable. He's my favorite. I mean, I know he's the bad guy, villain, evil, dark wizard, but he's little Funko is so cute. I love it. I just want to like put it in my little pocket with me and take it everywhere.
I'm Googling that right now.
It's so cute.
He looks like in Deathly Hallows Part 2 where he tries to hug Draco, or he tries to hug, who does he try to hug?
It's Draco.
It's like, and he has this weird, awkward hug thing.
That scene. That was so weird.
That's one of the most iconic Harry Potter moments ever. I love it. I like look forward to it.
Like, who thought of that? It was like, hey, you guys know it'd be really good if we make these two uncomfortably hug each other. It'll be awesome. Like,
I guess David Yates. Right?
So weird.
I know. I bet they were just like really tired after the shoot. They're like, we're almost done. A decade of making movies together. We're almost done. Let's just hug it out. And then
Tom Felton and Ralph Fiennes were just like, I'm kind of in the mood for a hug. How about you?
That was a candid moment, and Tom Felton's actually just really uncomfortable all the time. That's just his natural self. Very awkward.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm very excited to get these on my shelf. I want them now.
They're very cute.
Are you guys going to get the whole set?
At some point.
I have like 5 money, so no. But I would like to.
I might get 1 or 2 to start, and then just kind of slowly collect them. I still got a lot more. I need all my Guardians of the Galaxy ones. I need all my Avengers ones. I need a bunch. Oh, look at little Star-Lord.
Yeah.
So cute.
My friend ripped off his head last year, so I had to kill him and then put it back on.
All right.
I hope that friend is no longer
him
a
as a
friend.
friend, because I would have.
Yeah, no, they're gone now. They're not on this plane of existence. I took care of that.
Do you guys keep them in the boxes or take them out?
Mine's in the box still, actually.
Mine are in the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that for a while, but I was like, I can't do the bobble thing if they're in the box.
Yeah. I don't
I'm
even know
100%
why
serious.
They're just so cute, and they look so good in the box that I feel bad.
Yeah. I think they look. It's not like it's not like a oh, I'm trying to keep them nice type thing. I just think they look really cool in the box.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like, I'm not gonna sell them or anything later.
Yeah,
They're just
like-
adorable.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. You guys ready to move on to some really, really interesting Harry Potter information that was put out by J.K. Rowling?
Super
Yes.
ready.
Okay.
Yes, because I actually don't know about it.
Ooh. Okay. You can take a gander at the show notes, but.
Oh my god. There was some intense shade over here.
I'm joking. I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking.
So much shade.
It's it's been a long day and we're tired.
I can't even see. It's so dark in here. There's so much shade that just happened.
Oh, wow. That was almost as good as my Hermione pun. Or no, it was better. It was better. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No. What are you
Harry
talking about?
Potter news.
I was talking about on Twitter right after we finished the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Right.
cannot let that end on being that awkward.
Yeah, no, that was good. I know what you're talking. Tell the viewers or listeners what you're talking about, because other people might not remember, because I didn't remember.
Oh, I said, and with that, I said something along the lines like, and with that, the first episode of Hogwarts Podcast is in the books, just like Hermione Granger.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I liked yours better. It was better. All right, let's get into this really cool Harry Potter information, this new stuff. Are you guys all a part of Pottermore?
Yep.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Nope. Sorry.
Wait, did you guys all get sorted what you are on the show?
Yep.
Yeah, me
Totally
too.
in Gryffindor.
All right, phew, we're all good, except for you, Stacy.
Oh,
I know, I'm sorry,
left
I
to be
need to do
decided.
I'm gonna do it.
What if you do it and you get sorted into like Slytherin?
It's not gonna happen.
Oh,
What if
man.
it did?
I
Oh,
know I'm
she
ready.
knows.
Diego and I would be like, whoa, that would be, uh-oh.
If she gets some like Hufflepuff, we'll be like, excuse me.
Well,
That'd be
Really?
I'm invited to this
You
party.
finally get a Hufflepuff friend, and you'd be like, "Get out of here!"
No, I
like
think
being
Stacy.
Roman right now.
I think Stacy's definitely a Ravenclaw. Like she's a Ravenclaw.
I am, because I'm a know-it-all.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't saying that, but.
No, that's why I am. Ravenclaws are very, very much know-it-alls.
Know-it-all and proud. Work it,
Know-it-all
girl.
sassafrasses.
So
Definitely
the reason that I was like asking if you guys were a part of Pottermore is because they've released the Deathly Hallows stuff, and within it there's some brand new Harry Potter world information that J.K. Rowling has given to us. And one of the first things that I wanted to bring up is related to Hagrid and Dumbledore, and it is within like the alchemy part of like the site when you're exploring it, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about it. It's Rowling explains like in alchemy, the search for the Philosopher's Stone, which would turn base metal into gold and give the possessor eternal youth. It provides some background into the relevance of alchemy in the Potter series. The colors red and white are mentioned many times in old texts of alchemy, and then she goes on to say that Hagrid, it represents like red, and Albus represents white, and like they're different, and they're both like father figures in Harry's life, but they provide different things, and she always thought of it this way. And she says both are hugely important to Harry. And she says they seem to me to represent two sides of the ideal father figure he seeks. The former is warm, practical, and wild, so red, and the latter is impressive, intellectual, and somewhat detached, which you can see is it's white. Like it makes sense. It makes sense to you guys, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, I just wanted, I thought we could talk about that for a little bit and talk about like the father figures in Harry's life, and I think those two were the ones that were around the longest. Obviously, he had people like Sirius, and he also had Arthur Weasley.
Remus Lupin.
Right, Remus. But around the surrounding him for the most amount of time, I think it was definitely Hagrid and Dumbledore.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me because I guess I never thought of Hagrid as a father figure. I always thought of him more as like like a fun uncle that you love so much, but is always like sort of goofy. And I always thought he was kind of striving to get Dumbledore's approval in a way that felt more like a father figure to me. But once I hear it, though, it's like once I hear that description, it does make a lot of sense.
Oh yeah?
Wow, I killed that conversation.
I mean, I was going to give you guys a
so
chance to
engaging.
talk. Like, I didn't want to,
Sorry, I thought Diego was going to talk.
No, I thought Stacey was going to go, so that was just a whole...
No, I agree with Skylar's interpretation of their relationship. I think I always saw Hagrid as kind of like the fun, lovable uncle, and he never really had his stuff together. Like he was always kind of a hot mess, but a endearing, wonderful hot mess who everyone adored. So yeah, I would agree that that's a different interpretation. That the fact that we get like new background. Or not background, but a new kind of outlook on his relationship with Harry. I thought I like that. I agree. I agree that it's like a different kind of interpretation, but it takes in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, cool. In some ways, it felt like Harry had everything together more than Hagrid, or like Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So, which is weird because with a father figure, you usually think that the father figure is leading and guiding, but in a lot of ways, I felt like the trio was kind of guiding Hagrid.
Yeah, especially when Hagrid, tells them things that he shouldn't tell them. Those are some great moments, and like she describes him as wild, and so I see what you guys are saying with like the whole uncle thing. But you can have dads who are like that too, like father figure. I mean, not everyone's dads are intellectual and studious, and there are different. I mean, and they are very different. But that's what makes them so great, and why it's so great that they're in Harry's life when he doesn't have parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's also a testament to her writing that. Yeah, she's the one pointing it out to us, but. When you look at it, like, oh yeah, the devil's in the details, like that was clearly intent, and that's not just sugarcoating she's sprinkling on later for like fan service. It's like no, there's these different avenues to explore with these characters if you want to read into it, and it's not just fan service. It's like legitimate, good writing and storytelling.
One thing I like about her is I feel like she really respects people's interpretations because she's often talked about the people who ship Harry and Hermione versus the people who ship Harry, or not Harry and Ron, well, those people too, but Ron and Hermione, and there are like such good kind of reasons to ship both of those couples. I think like I don't agree with the Harry Hermione one, but people who ship it have so many reasons to. Like I can see why they do it, and I think that's a testament to, like Diego was saying, to her writing, where you can read it and each person can take something different out of it. She's not just forcing this stuff on us. She's giving it to us, letting us interpret it the way we want to interpret it, and then telling us that that's okay to interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And she's so good about not just that, but also like interacting with different fans, like, through any different social media outlet. That same way of not just telling them, no, this is what I meant, but discussing it and saying, well, I can see, I can see the different views on these different relationships or this different situation, and this is what I was thinking of when I wrote it, and but that's one way of looking at it. Yeah, her willingness to lend a like broader spectrum when it comes to her writing, I think is a big part of why she's so popular and why Harry Potter is so wonderful. It's because it's got room for everyone's opinions and thoughts, and not just what she wanted, but what she would hoped everyone would kind of put themselves into. So absolutely.
To touch on the whole Harry and Hermione and Ron and Hermione thing really quick, I think that a lot of people, they see the very close relationship between Harry and Hermione, and they kind of like say, oh, they have better chemistry and they should be together, when the way I look at it, and I think the way J.K. Rowling meant for it to be, is Hermione is Harry's best friend just as much as Ron is his best friend. I mean, just because she's the opposite sex doesn't mean like, oh, they should be together. It's like, yeah, they have great, I mean, they're great together, but so are Harry and Ron. And like, but there's that tension between Ron and Hermione, where it makes more sense for them to be together, and it's just they have this thing from the very beginning.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, at the end of the day, always would come back to Ron and Hermione, but people who ship Harry and Hermione, like, I think that it kind of, I think Stacey was saying that we can put ourselves into it a little bit, and I think there are people who can put themselves in these characters, and even if it's subconscious, kind of think, okay, like, if I were this character, which relationship would I want? And I think maybe the Harry Hermione people put themselves in these characters and they want a different thing than the Ron Hermione people want. We're so off topic. I don't know why I brought this up, but like, yeah. I think that it just kind of depends on the reader there, because there's plenty of fan service. I mean, it's not fan service, but there's plenty of stuff in the books that could lead you towards one couple or the other. Even though I always viewed Harry and Hermione as completely platonic and just a friend thing, there is stuff in there that you can read, and you can read it and say, hey, like, what's this? But it just kind of depends on the reader, which, again, is like just J.K. Rowling writing so well that every single person has their own unique reaction to things that are happening.
Well, speaking of relationships, let's talk about this new information that she has given us regarding Vernon and Petunia and Lily and James and the first time they met. And she says, like, Vernon's simply a name I never much cared for, and Petunia is a name I always gave unpleasant female characters in games of make-believe I played with my sister. And she goes on and like describes that like the first meeting between Harry's parents, Lily and James, and the Dursleys. Well, at the time it was Vernon and Petunia were going to be getting married, but they weren't amused with each other, and Vernon he patronized James. And and like right after that, they never talked to each other again. The only communication between Lily and James and Vernon and Petunia was a note the day Harry was born. And and Petunia, like, she didn't invite Lily to be a bridesmaid, and just like because she feared like being overshadowed, she went on to say. And we see a bit of that, just in the flashback scenes we see in the movies, and obviously they go into detail about it in the books. And I think that's really interesting that like they didn't talk to each other once. since they met since Vernon and James met for the first time.
Yeah, it just makes this relationship more tragic, because it's those flashbacks, especially, how heartbreaking to see, I guess, Petunia's insecurities come out so strongly that they actually ruined her relationship with her sister. And that all of that new information just sort of strengthens that, and I think it just makes it sadder.
Mm-hmm.
She and she like went on to relate this, you know how like Vernon, how I said he patronized James. It was kind of similar to how Severus wasn't very fond of James either, and that's like, you know, how Vernon, he's not a fan of Harry, and Snape, you know, I mean it's a totally different story and way deeper, and it's beneath the surface. But she related the two of them to that because of a dislike for Harry's father.
I like that. I think it's interesting to see the different motivations people have for some animosity. You know, like if you talk about like jealousy between sisters, that theme, or jealousy amongst, you know, men might have with each other. I think I like that she kind of explains that so that we understand relationships down the road, decades later, even when like Harry's, you know, an older boy and almost a grown man himself. I think it's important it gives them more understanding to the story when you know why people act towards each other the way they do, not just the dialogue that they have, but the history behind it. So yeah, I think it adds like a depth, you said, to it.
Yeah, you have anything to add to that?
You guys keep taking all the good talking points, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, no, it's all right. You guys explain your thoughts well. I mean, yeah, I'm on board with everything. I got nothing else to add. I'm kind of ashamed of this. Like, get me back on the next one. Get me back on the next one.
Yeah, you get it this go around. All right. So here's some really cool news. So there's been like some studies done by Stetson University and the University of Washington and the University of Florida. And basically what they've done is they did this study on what your Hogwarts house says about your personality. And I'll read a little bit about what they did. As far as the background, they go on to say, like, in Harry Potter, students who attend Hogwarts, they're sorted into one of the four houses, and you know, they give we all know what each of the houses stands for and all this and all that, and then they say after the series ended, J.K. Rowling launched an interactive website, Pottermore, and a lot of people have studied this before and just seeing the way people related to the houses, and they said the study authors examined these questionnaires that Pottermore users and they use Pottermore users' results to help them inform with the research that they're doing, and they said that they examined 132 people that consider themselves huge Harry Potter fans, and as I said, that they were a part of Pottermore and found themselves being placed in these houses. And I will start off by by saying that as far as Gryffindors go, they didn't really find any like evidence towards anything. I don't know how to feel about that. They said that doesn't. It's not like this huge. There was just no conclusive results as to like what your personality was, because they touched a little bit on the fact, like in the movies and books, Gryffindors are a bit diverse, but they are brave and they like value friendship and stuff. But like, because you look at Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they're pretty different, right?
Yeah.
And
I'll let you go ahead. I have thoughts on the Golden Trio and houses.
Go, Diego.
Um,
Speak, dude. Share your thoughts.
I just want to. I'll tell you guys what they found as far as the other houses though. They did find stuff.
Oh God.
They identified that Hufflepuffs scored very high in agreeableness, and that.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you're not agreeing with that. And that Ravenclaws had a positive association with the need for cognition. And Slytherins scored highest when it came to the dark triad personality construct.
Yes. And what is that? Please tell us more.
I mean, you really want me to tell you more?
Tell the listeners.
Yeah.
You're basically like evil.
Thanks.
No. Obviously, no. It's just you have some darker tendencies and leanings. Maybe not. I mean, obviously, you're not a bad person, but you just look at things from a different point of view than maybe a lot of other people.
What's the trio? It's what is it? Narcissism. What are the other two? Like Machiavelli is something. What are the other two?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I don't.
That like the dark triad of personality types. It's narcissism and I cannot remember the other two, but they're like that. They're both like that. They're very negative, but I feel like I could either be ashamed of this or I could own it, and I'm just gonna choose to own it. I'm just gonna be fine. I'm gonna Tony Stark it.
Oh, I just actually
don't make Ultron.
I just peed in and looked it up. It's narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy.
Oh, wonderful.
Great. Okay, really though, here's the thing. Like, even in this study, Slytherins are getting a bad name. Why can't we ever be like, oh, they're really ambitious and like they strive for things and they're clever? We never get like our positives. We always just get, oh, they're evil and they're self-centered. But also there are good things about that because it means that we get stuff done and we work really hard. I'm not even eloquent right now.
On your way.
I got somebody's got to defend Slytherin. We're always getting a bad rap, and I feel like we're still getting a bad rap even with science. That hurts me.
Because you're not as good as Ravenclaw.
Oh.
That's the only explanation. That's it.
Explanation.
Diego, what do you have to say about scoring very high in agreeableness?
I disagree with it. I mean, I don't think that's true at all. Have you seen me on Twitter? No way. Oh, but what I was going to say about the Golden Trio was
agreeable ways.
Maybe.
You're like really
Finds
nice.
common ground.
Yeah,
I try to.
Shut up, you're wrong, and you're always like, let me tell you why you're wrong, like friend.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's true. And
Smiley emoji.
Yeah, he's never someone who puts someone down. Like he'll just say why he thinks he's right, and he'll stand by that. But Diego never says, "Oh, you're just and actually jumps to other things outside of the conversation like a lot of people will."
Let's talk more about how great Diego is.
Yes, please continue. I can listen to this forever. Everyone here.
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit more about mine. While they found conclusive evidence for all of you guys, they didn't find it for mine. But I actually think that is actually in a way, and they actually did go in detail a little bit about that. That Gryffindor is kind of diverse, but it comes down to it's just something inside.
Well, Diego, what were you going to say about the trio?
Thank you.
Oh,
yes,
that's just
you're
welcome.
Thanks, Slytherin. You're real nice.
Yes, see, Slytherin is good.
I just want to be friends, but you're like, what are you doing? What?
No. You keep taking me off track. Okay, I actually think maybe this is a controversial opinion, but if the Golden Trio was all in separate houses, the story would have benefited. I think it's perfectly acceptable for them to all be in Gryffindor, but given their personalities and everyone else's personalities in the other houses, they shouldn't all be there. For story purposes, it's enough. But
yeah, well, there's no world in which I really believe Hermione wasn't a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's brave and all this stuff, but Severus Snape is proof that you don't have to be in Gryffindor to be brave. So I just can't imagine. I agree with you completely, because I never ever thought that Hermione should be anywhere but Ravenclaw.
I agree. She should have been in Ravenclaw. Like she
I
was
don't.
super, super smart.
No, because Gryffindor's better.
No, but Ravenclaws are smarter, and Hermione was all about the smarts. She was the smartest witch in that school. Everyone
That's
knew
true.
it. She was a boss witch. She knew what to do. She belonged in Ravenclaw.
Yeah,
They put her
but-
in Gryffindor for the sake of the plot of the book, I know, because they needed them to
No, that's not why. It's because she valued her friendship, and
I mean,
as
but
Gryffindors, we value our friendship, and we're really close to each other, and we put others in front of ourselves. Whereas maybe sometimes Ravenclaws.
you can do those things in any house, though, and I think it comes down to what do you value the most. And Hermione said it herself at this point that, like, she really valued intelligence and learning, and even through her friendship, it was so clear that she always valued that so highly. And, like, I mean, okay, I think Ron was the only one of the trio who definitely should be Gryffindor. Actually. I do, because I think even Harry, I don't know for sure where Harry would have been. He got all...
Slytherin.
You think Slytherin? I mean...
Well, it's not... I don't know. I think he could have fit in... Actually, I think it was anything he wanted. I think that if he were the type of person to just accept what he was going to be given, it was like... The Sorting Hat would have sorted him into Slytherin, but he wasn't that type of person. So actually, I kind of take that back. That actually doesn't make sense. It would be someone who was willing to just fall into the grasp of Slytherin, and Harry wasn't that type of person.
Well,
he wasn't going to fall into the grasp. He said, "Please not." Yeah, and that is true as well, because it sensed the Voldemort in him. We didn't know at the time, but yeah, that's a very good point. But I also think I think it's a mix of things, but I think Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they are Gryffindor because they wanted to be Gryffindor.
Well, I think the problem with Gryffindor in the books and
there's a problem.
Study.
Yes.
Hear me out. The problem is, with all three of the other houses, you can very clearly point to certain traits and say, these are the traits of the houses, these are what these people value. Right. Gryffindor, because for plot purposes, the three main characters were placed in it seemingly kind of randomly, doesn't have traits like that. Like, you can't just point to Gryffindor and say, these are those traits, because it doesn't exactly have clear-cut traits, because for plot purposes, those were very muddled.
But yeah, you're correct, but I also think, but for a different reason, that just makes sense, because as far as Gryffindors go, it's beneath the surface. Whereas maybe the other houses are kind of more on the surface, I think Gryffindor, it's what's deep down inside, and what in what we are.
I think that's such a ridiculously Gryffindor answer.
Hey, come on. That's not nice of you to say. Come on. I'm just saying.
Know what it is? You know what it is? Gryffindors are the jocks, man.
That's what it is. That's
what
it.
What talking about? We're nice.
You're a house of bros.
You're the villain in every John Hughes movie.
That's not true.
Yes, you are.
It's not true. We're not talking about John Hughes movies, because on the Movie Hero Show, when we started talking about the Breakfast Club, it was like laughing for years.
Are the popular kids. They're the popular kids.
You're like Jenko in 21 Jump Street.
That's not... I don't think
that's right. Oh my God, that's it.
Hey, guys.
You guys had a breakthrough.
No, I can be friends with people, but maybe we're popular because, and it's not like a popular where we think we're above everyone else. We just get along with people. I'm the type of person I like to talk to people, everyone, and get out and just enjoy life and just have fun talking to all different types of people. I think that's what Gryffindors are. And that's how I am. I can't speak for everyone else. But.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because we're not going to speak to that anymore.
We won't gang up on you anymore tonight.
Every house is great. Every house is special.
Guys, stop. You realize the Slytherin is getting into your minds. Come on, guys.
They're Slytherin
I kind of am. I'm actually
Yeah, like come on. Do you see me like attacking anybody here? Like it's trying to keep
I'm not
this.
exactly attacking you. It's just very subtle, and it's happening.
Like I was saying like you have good points, and you're like these you said some very smart things, and then you're like, oh, your house is like the jocks, and you guys are popular, like in a negative way.
That was
me.
the
Come on,
Hufflepuff
man.
started that.
I'll take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, your agreeableness with all these other people, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
hey, feel the way you want to. I mean, it's.
Yeah, you're still great. The thing is, with being a Slytherin makes it so that I always have to kind of be on the defensive. I don't even mean to be, but I just feel like I have to be a little bit, because even J.K. Rowling hates us. Everybody hates us. I have to, I just have to be ready. God, especially with you, Gryffindor. You guys always want to put us down, say that we're villains and we're Dark Lords and what. I mean, it's all true, but not all. Hashtag not all Slytherin. That's my hashtag after this podcast.
I'm doing it right now.
Hashtag not all Slytherins.
Hashtag go Gryffindor. Still the best.
Anything else on the agenda for tonight, Mike?
No, there's not. I'm just.
They're just trash talk you until you go to bed.
Let's make him cry.
No, I'm not gonna, guys. I'm good. I mean, you guys can keep throwing it at me. It's good. I mean, I could take this every single episode, and I could just,
He's ignoring us and retweeting tweets right now. That's what's happening
about Twitter right now.
No, I mean, I was talking to you guys. I was in fact on Twitter. You guys probably, but I was also talking. I was also talking back to you guys. I was just keeping it going and keeping it going on the podcast and on social media at the same time. I think I pride myself in being good at diversifying myself and being friends with everyone and doing different things and yeah. As a Ravenclaw, you probably multitask quite often.
Yeah, I just signed up for Pottermore while you guys were chit-chatting.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. What? Seriously, can you please ASAP take the sorting hat?
No, I am. I see the thing right now where it gets sorted by the sorting hat, so I'm gonna do it.
Because I'm nervous for you. Because that sorting hat thing, man, you can't rig it. You can't rig it.
Yeah, you
no
can't.
Way.
You can't. No, you
we'll
can't.
see.
So are we are we waiting?
No, don't wait. I'll do it and then
I was like, I thought we were about to wrap up, but I don't know, is this gonna take a long time? Or are you gonna really focus? Yeah.
No, I'll focus. I'll get myself into wherever I'm sorted, and then I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
I hope that you get in the right house, because I do feel like you belong in Ravenclaw, and it will be heartbreaking, truly, for everyone if you end up in Hufflepuff.
This is true.
No, I mean, she's in what she's in.
Or anything.
No pressure. Not much pressure.
In her heart, she's always felt like she's Ravenclaw, so hey, guys, I think that means she's probably going to be Ravenclaw.
Even if you get something else, you can pull a Harry and just be like, not Hufflepuff, and just call yourself
Hey, I felt beat up on Hufflepuff now.
Not Hufflepuff, eh?
Diego doesn't want anybody. He said earlier, he's like, oh, don't get Hufflepuff. No,
I'm just
for
insecure.
Diego.
Why? You had people you had people like Cedric Diggory in Hufflepuff. That guy was...
he's dead. So.
Yeah, hashtag dead.
Okay. I guess I didn't ever realize that Cedric was in Hufflepuff.
Oh yeah, he's Hufflepuff's big crowning jewel. Anytime you hear people putting down Hufflepuff, some Hufflepuff runs up and goes, Cedric Diggory, and then runs off. Anytime.
No, I like Cedric. He's a good guy.
Everybody likes Cedric. That's why they yell his name and they sprint away. He's a delight. Who doesn't like him?
But I think that about does it for this week's episode. We're just I don't know. We're going a whole bunch of crazy places, but it's a lot of fun. You guys can find me on Twitter at Mike the Film Guy and on Periscope at the same thing. And you can find all my movie news at schmozno.com and MikeTheFilmGuy.com and all my reviews on there as well. And please subscribe to my other podcasts. I have a Star Wars podcast called From a Certain Point of View. Please subscribe to that on iTunes and follow the Twitter at FACPOV. And I also have a Spider-Man podcast with Diego called SpideyCast. Please subscribe to that and follow the Twitter for that at SpideyCast. And we have a all-movie podcast called The Movie Hero Show. And please subscribe to that on iTunes and follow the Twitter for that at Movie Hero Show. And I'll throw it over to you, Hufflepuff.
Yeah, all that, plus YouTube stuff, because we record all of it on Google Hangouts. So that's the plug. Follow me on Twitter at DagoWaffles. Check out my movie review stuff at audienceseverywhere.net. I think it's it. Yes, that's it.
It is, yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012, and then also on Instagram at StaceyOHoward.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at SkyTweet, SKYY tweet. And from there you can get anything else you would want. I write for audienceseverywhere.net also, but yeah, just follow me on Twitter. It's all there.
Yay!
And also, please subscribe to this podcast, Hogwarts Podcast, if you haven't already. And follow the Twitter at Hogwarts Podcast and send us tweets. Just in anything in relation to what we were talking about. You guys did it after we told you to last episode, and it was really cool. You guys are awesome, and I mean anything Harry Potter related. Send us tweets. I love hearing from you guys. We all do, right? You guys like hearing from people?
Yes,
For
I do.
sure.
I like people because I'm a Hufflepuff, and I'm accepting. What was the thing I am again?
Yeah,
Agreeable.
Agreeable. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Agreeable.
Hashtag not all Slytherins. Join me. Please, somebody. Help me.
Hashtag judging you, because Ravenclaw's it.
Oh.
Classic Ravenclaw.
Hashtag go Gryffindor. I'm sticking to that one.
Last word. Always gotta get the last word.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that.
All
But
right. Go ahead, close the show up then.
I was, buddy.
All right.
All right,
so
then,
that's
buddy.
it.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
All right, guys. So that's it for this week's episode of Hogwarts Podcast. Thanks for listening, students.
Go Hufflepuff.